Did you ever take a great photo that would have been perfect, but that one small detail, the element that ruins the composition? The sign, the tree, or the trash can? Is your photo really only good for throwing it away? It is not. Today I'm going to show you how to handle the situation. Let's get started. Hi! Welcome to Edit with Paul. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to remove an object from a photo. Why 3 methods? So that you can choose the one that works best in particular situation. Because, unfortunately, there is no one universal method which is good for every case. We will start with easier examples and gradually work our way up to more difficult ones. If you are with me till this point, I assume you're interested in graphic editing stuff. And if you are, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm sure you will find something interesting for you here. Without further ado, here we go with the tutorial. Oh, I suggest to watch this video to the end. In every new example, I will give you a lot of interesting tips. Let's get to work. We will start with the simplest case, removing one of the birds from the photo. All photos that I use in this tutorial come from Pexels. I leave the links to them in the description under this video, so you can download them and work along with me. To start, let's copy our layer 3 times, so we can use a different method on each one and compare the results. The fastest way to duplicate a layer is to use the shortcut Ctrl+J. The first tool we will use is a patch tool. To make sure you will get similar results, first let's reset the tool settings. Click on this icon, then on the gear, and select Reset all tools. OK, select the patch and, without changing any settings, outline the bird. Grab the left mouse button and drag to the empty field next to it. Release, and the bird disappears. Deactivate the selection with Ctrl+D and move a little closer to the document. As you can see, in this case the patch did a great job. We hide this layer by clicking on the eye icon and work on the middle one. This time we'll use a stamp tool. For both patch tool and the stamp tool, I have created dedicated tutorials. So if you want to learn all about them, and trust me, it's worth it, check out the description below this video. We have a stamp selected. First, let's enlarge it a bit. Right click and in the size section, I select around 500 pixels. Now I take a sample of the place I want to stamp. To do this, hold down the Alt Option key and click the left mouse button. I want to take a sample of a clear sky, of course. Now move the cursor over a bird and start painting. Notice that while you are stamping, a little cross appears at the place from which you copied the source pixels. It shows us from which place the sample is currently taken. Now just paint. As you can see, this time we also get a good result. OK, once again, we hide the layer we were working on and select the one at the very bottom. This time, we are going to work with the Content Aware Fill option. So choose any of the selection tool. Let's say it's the lasso. Create a loose selection around the seagull. I think it's a seagull. I apologize in advance to all ornithologists if this is a different species of bird. With the selection ready, go to the Edit menu and select Fill. As always, I recommend using the keyboard shortcut Shift F5. Leave the other parameters unchanged and click OK. Depending on the format of the document and the power of your computer, the program will think a bit and after a while the result will be ready. Great job! No trace of any manipulation with the photo. To recap, in such simple cases, all tools will work very well. So choose the one you are most comfortable with. OK, that was easy. Now, you're probably wondering why you need to know all 3 methods. Take a look at another, seemingly equally simple example. This time, we will, of course, want to make the ball disappear. Once again, we create 3 copies. Let's start as before with the patch tool. Create a selection, remembering to include the shadow, and drag. Before you release the mouse button, take a look at the preview. See what happens when I hover over different places in the photo. I'm sure you understand where I'm going with this. To get the best effect, you must pay attention to different levels of depth of field. If there is any difference in depth of field in your photo, of course. In this particular situation, the best result will be achieved by dragging our selection along the horizontal line to a place where the depth of field is the same. In other words, the same depth of field will be in the photo at the same distance from the camera. Okay, second example, and we are working with a stamp tool. Again, paying attention to the depth of field. We take a sample next to the ball and stamp. Quick and effective. Now see how the fill tool will do. It would seem that it shouldn't have any problems here, right? So let's check it. Pick the elliptical selection tool and create the selection. Now Shift F5 and we confirm OK. And as you can see, we have a surprise here. The result is the worst. And to be more precise, it is absolutely unusable. To slightly improve the result of this tool, we would have to first go back and instead of using the Edit Fill option, use the variant located a bit below, the Content-Aware Fill. I will not describe here all the features of this tool, because I will prepare a separate tutorial for it. The most important information you need to know is this. What is marked in green in left window is the area from which Photoshop Artificial Intelligence takes pixels to create the fill. To add something to this selection, we need to paint the specific area with the available brush. And to subtract from the selection, switch to minus here and erase the unwanted parts. Here, in the preview window, you see the live results. We try to cover the region of focus with the selection, again with the specific depth of field in the back of our minds. This helps the program do the best job possible. When you are done, choose the appropriate output format. In our case, it's the current layer, and click OK. Let's take a look at the all results again. As you can see, this time the patch tool did probably the best job. I've shown you these two examples not by accident. There's a reason why I'm showing you different methods to achieve the same result. I want you to have knowledge that will allow you to deal with any situation. As you can see, a method that works great in one case may not work perfectly in the other. Removing the lamps from this photo, or the car from this one, is a fairly easy task and any of the presented methods can handle it. I give you the possibilities. In the following examples, I will show you that often the best results are achieved by using not one method, but a combination of several at the same time. Oh, and by the way, if you like what you've seen so far, please remember to subscribe to my channel. First, let's make a blue container in this picture disappear. We will start by filling in with a Content-Aware option. Using this tool in more complicated situations will often give you a good starting point for further adjustments. Let's try. Select lasso, outline, Shift F5 and confirm. Alright, what we have here is not good for anything. We'll do it differently. Undo with Ctrl+Z and deselect. Ctrl+D. We take a sample on the pedestal here and try to fit it perfectly in the place when the container stands. Paint. Okay, now for the other side. Alright, now we're going to take care of the vertical line. Great, and correct this line here. Okay, the facade is roughly done. Moving on to the foundations. can continue using the stamp, but let's see how the patch will do. Create a selection and drag alongside. Well, it's not bad. Time for final touches. Let's speed up so it won't bore you. Okay, that's enough for this example. I don't want this tutorial to be super long, and I can already see it won't be one of the shortest. Spend a little more time on this and the effects will be amazing. Finally, in a super high speed, I will show you one more example in which I will demonstrate additional very useful tricks. Here we will remove the hydrant and plumbing parts on the wall. Let's do this. Duplicate the layer and start with fill options. Okay, with a stamp, we will even out the lines if needed. Great, this part is ready. Now we're going to work with pipes. We start with this corner. Luckily for us, the stucco guy didn't do a very good job, so we don't have to worry about a perfect line. Okay, now let's remove the parts at the pole. Here, of course, we use the stamp. It's okay. We fix the rest with patch and fill. Awesome! Let's jump to the other side. Here we have to be careful with the model. Let me show you a cool trick. First, we create a selection of the part of the model that is in contact with the pipe. So we are mainly concerned with this and this location. Since this is not a tutorial on creating selections, I'm going to do a pretty lazy job here, using the Select Subject option. Choose any selection tool, click on the Select Subject option, and tweak the selection if needed. When you have that ready, invert the selection. The shortcut is Shift-Ctrl-I for Windows and Shift-Command-I if you are using a Mac. At this point, everything except the model is covered by the active selection. Any changes, so stamping, painting or filling, will not be applied to the unselected area. Check this out. If, for example, I take a brush and start painting, I won't be able to do it in these parts. Now we can easily select a stamp, take a sample, and start copying pixels without worrying that we will go too far. And you're done. Deactivate the selection and let's take a look at the before and after. Before and after. And we made it to the end. Maybe it wasn't the shortest tutorial, but hey, you learned 3 methods that will allow you to remove any element from a photo. I know they will be super useful for you. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, I will be very happy if you click thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also click the notification bell, you will be always up to date. Until the next one, bye!